Welcome to Grit Gym. This is about the 92% that don't do this and are suffering the consequences. And to get started, go to gritgym.com/how-to-start because that means that you're going to be the solution to this thing. 92% of the United States doesn't get enough activity to benefit from that activity. That's a little alarming. 92%, there's 327 million people in the United States. Okay, 327 million. That means that about 10% of those, about 32 million people, or less than 32 million people are actually getting enough benefit or enough activity to benefit from that activity. And that's not even getting into the details of the activity that they are doing, whether they're doing an activity that's actually serving them or getting them hurt. Now, the wild thing about this is of the people in the United States, there's 12% of the United States that has a gym membership. Only 12% actually has a gym membership, but only 8% of the United States actually gets enough activity to benefit from that activity. That means that 4% of the United States that has a gym membership also is not getting enough activity to benefit from that activity, which means they're not showing up to do their thing. Okay, out here, what we're trying to do is get people to show up. It's a completely different business model than your big box gyms that just go by membership. Those big box gym membership models, the way that those are structured is that they're banking on you never showing up. The price point is set just low enough that you keep your good intentions until next month and say, oh, I'll go next month, oh, I'll go next month, oh, I'll go next month. But the deal is, if you actually showed up, if 100% of their population, of their patrons actually showed up, they go out of business immediately. They couldn't handle the influx, right? So they're built on you not showing up. Out here at Grit Gym, we are built on you actually coming and attending. That's why we will do anything to keep you accountable to actually showing up and being successful in your workouts, because your success is our success. To get started, go to gritgym.com/how-to-start. But 92% of the United States does not get enough activity to benefit from that activity. That is crazy. And it's showing you other ways too. 9.4% of the United States has diabetes right now. 9.4% of the United States. Okay, so that's almost 10%. 327 million people. That means 32 million people have diabetes. Now, what's wild about that is you might say, oh, it's just genetics. It's just some people are going to be genetically diabetic, and that's a fine argument. But we can look up type 1 diabetes versus type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes makes up 95% of all diagnosed diabetic cases. Okay, so 95% of that 9.4% is type 2 diabetes, which means that they earned it. Okay, over 40% of the United States is obese in every single category, and this isn't fat shaming. Okay, get rid of this idea that fat shaming is a thing. Okay, fat shaming is a thing. I misspoke there. Fat shaming is a thing, but get rid of the idea that someone trying to help you is fat shaming you, unless they're just being an asshole about it. I'm not being an asshole by pointing out a statistic. Okay, so over 40%, and the alarming thing about the obesity deal is that it's getting younger. It's the rate that it's getting younger. It's really, really sad that it just keeps getting younger and younger at an alarming rate. But over 40% in every single category. 35 to 45-year-olds have the highest, and they're around 48%. That's almost half. Okay, obesity doesn't mean that your body is a little overweight. Obesity means that you have enough fat where your body is killing you. Okay, and to this idea that oh, it's okay if you're really overweight, you have some curves, it's still healthy. No, it's not. It's wear and tear on your joints. Like I weigh 230 pounds basically. 228 to 232 pounds on a daily basis. I might flux between those two. Okay, just me being a bigger guy, even if I am around 10% body fat, just me being a bigger guy puts more wear and tear on my joints. Some of that is I'm not going to get away from it just because I'm 6'4", right? I'm going to carry a lot more muscle mass than somebody who is shorter than me. But at the same time, if you lay BMI indexes over the top of orthopedic surgeries, joint tears, different kinds of injuries, you're going to see a high level of correlation to in that department. Okay, so we have to look at some of these statistics to figure out what's going on. But the wild one is that 92% of the United States is not getting enough activity to benefit from that activity. That is crazy. Okay, so we need to get you into the gym. Okay, we need to get you in here. We want you to come in here. Go to gritgym.com/how-to-start and get signed up there, because we want you to walk in here. Okay, we want to help. We cannot help you until you take the action to come to us. I wish this could be a deal where I could go 90% to you and you could come 10% to me, but the deal is you got to come here. Okay, that's one of the caveats to this whole thing. You've got to take the courage to get here, to push yourself into this, to be the solution, because if only 12% of the United States has gym membership, that means 88% of the United States doesn't have a gym membership. Right? If only 8% of the United States is getting enough activity to benefit from that activity, that means 92% of the United States doesn't get enough activity to benefit from that activity. Now, what I didn't say earlier was gyms like this behind you, training gyms, gyms that have you lift weights and go hard. The crazy thing about this is that, and this is one of the reasons why we are so educated and why we push ourselves to continue our education and to continually improve upon the programming that we are using and our due diligence that we do with you up front, is because over half, worldwide, over half of the people who join a training gym this year will get injured, and that doesn't include all the people who are like, yeah, I got a naggy shoulder, but it's fine. That's an injury. Oh, my back hurts, every once in a while, but it's fine. Oh, my knee hurts that's an injury. Those are all injuries, okay? Over half of the people will get a training-related injury. Okay, that's insane. This is the most controlled atmosphere that we possibly have in all of health. It's more controlled than medicine. It's more controlled than psychology. It's more controlled than everything. And so we shouldn't be, maybe I could go with you somewhere like if you tripped over the foot of a bench or something like that, an anomaly or, something silly. But that still wouldn't account for over half. Okay, so over half the people that join a training gym this year will get injured. That's insane. That means that 4% of that 8% are doing it wrong. Okay? We want to do it right. We want to do what's right by you, which means that we need to do our due diligence up front to do a strategy session and an assessment, and then actually set up a training program that will work for you, not against you. Because there's a lot of people out there, that 4% that are doing it wrong, they're working real hard at getting a real bad injury. Okay? We want to make sure that we're succeeding, that we're not hurting. Okay? So go to gritgym.com/how-to-start. Be part of the 8% that is going to grow. Okay? We need to bump that up. We need to double that. We need to 10x that. We need to get to 80% of the United States, and then 90% of the United States, and then 100% of the United States that is getting enough activity to benefit from that activity. Because right now, 92% of the United States is not getting enough activity to benefit from that activity. Go to gritgym.com/how-to-start and be the solution.